Satoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Satoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Satoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya.
We come together to contemplate the unity and divinity of all life, with the understanding that we evolve through the evolution of our consciousness. And so everything that we do here is offering you fruit for contemplation, that through your own deep personal realizations you spark the evolution of your consciousness, spark a leap in consciousness. In the ancient wisdom of beloved India, we understand that the mystery conceives of a goddess who sings the world into creation. That song and vibration are a vehicle for the creative expression, the expression of the creative potency of this great mystery of life and consciousness. So there are few tools as powerful as song, and truly few tools that we have at our disposal as powerful as our own voice, because we are a microcosm of this great mystery of life and consciousness, and our own voice is a microcosm of the creative power. In exactly the same way that a drop of water contains within it all the qualities, all the forces, all the powers of an infinite ocean of water. This great and mysterious and miraculous life, and this great and mysterious and miraculous consciousness within you contain all the powers, all the gifts, all the forces of this great and wondrous mystery of life and consciousness. And as we embody the macrocosm, our throat chakras are a point in which consciousness steps down into physical manifestation, and where ether plays out into our heart's desire, air, personal power, fire, and life, water, earth, structure, form. So ether is the mother of these more material dimensions of our being. And ether, the medium of ether, is song, is vibration, is voice, is what we call Vak Devi. So here, this intelligence, whose vehicle is the breath, we personify in the iconography of Vak Devi, we personify in the iconography of Gayatri Devi, and we personify in the iconography of Saraswati Devi. So we begin with an invocation of the goddess Saraswati using the Bija mantras, which are the Bija just in exactly the same way that a seed contains within it the destiny to become a tree. Each of these mantras, each of these Bija mantras contain within it the cosmic seed to manifest these qualities of consciousness and the qualities of creative intelligence. So, Om, the essence of self, I'm, the Shakti, the manifest powers of self, Shrim, the power of desire, the power of intention, Hrim, the powers of vision, again the powers of Shakti, the powers of passion. So let's straighten our spines, take a deep breath, and begin our mantra yoga. It's important, it's valuable to understand that your life is intimately tied to the life of nature, that you only exist because you are a part of nature, that every breath you take is a breath of the atmosphere, within the atmosphere, the spheres of breath of our beloved Mother Gaia, that you only exist as an integral part of nature, profoundly dependent upon nature, Mother Nature. And our Mother Nature, the life of our Mother Gaia, only exists as a life within our solar system, that our life as Gaia only makes sense as a part of a larger life, the life of our solar system. And just like every atom and molecule and cell of your body is dependent upon your body as a whole, or your body as a whole is dependent upon nature, nature is dependent upon the larger system, the solar system, and the life of that living solar system, which is again dependent upon the organism, the larger organism of the cosmos. That you are truly a part of everything, and everything is a part of you. Last week, when we were looking at the movement of the golden ratio spiral through the horn torus, and we were contemplating that one radii from the nucleus, the movement of that one radii through the nucleus, we want to understand that an energy field is microcosm within microcosm within microcosm, infinitely within the macrocosm. That radii was one of radii to the n, radii to the x, radii to the limits of what we can comprehend within that energy field. that there is unlimited radiation from energy on all these levels of microcosm to macrocosm, that we live in this vast, vast fabric of radiance. And we've said that the stuff of this is consciousness, that we are an epiphenomena of consciousness. An epiphenomena is something that appears to be something else, but is really something else. So this all appears to be a solid reality, but it's all truly a play of consciousness, because the energy that all of this is made of is this mystical and divine fabric of consciousness. And as we contemplate this consciousness and the dynamics of this consciousness, we must see it as an omnipresence. The only way it can possibly work is in the deepest mysteries that are revealed by mysticism and quantum fascination. So the mystery tells us that we're immersed in life, and this life is a life of Brahman. And Brahman, the life of Brahman, is expressed as being. I am, therefore I think. I am, therefore I create. Being. Consciousness. I am, therefore I'm conscious. And bliss, the ecstasy of this awareness, the ecstasy of this consciousness, the ecstasy of this presence. So the purpose of this knowledge is liberation. That without this knowledge, life is very painful. That when we're disconnected from, again, Sat Chidananda being, we experience life as very hollow. And the hollowness of life is excruciatingly painful, that we experience an abyss, and we feel the terror of living on this abyss. And the ancient wisdom reveals that to heal this ontological terror, this terror of this disconnect from nature, from life, this alienation from our own divinity, we need only to commune with the presence. We need only to focus in the presence, to lift our minds up out of all of the externals and to focus within. And it doesn't matter what your instrument is for focusing within. There are myriad ways of connecting with being, connecting with nature, simply going into the woods, simply walking with your dog, simply serving your cat, simply cooking for your family, connects you, brings you into a space of soul communion and connects you with being. So one of the tools for protecting our hearts and connecting us with being, again, is chanting. And let's go into our... So let's hear Mataji chant this, and you're welcome to chant along. The meaning of this is, that we're talking about moving your attachment from the world to an attachment to being, a passion for being, an attention for communion with being. So here from the great sage Adi Shankara, an invocation to being. The meaning of it is unattached, unattached, unattached am I to the body, to the mind, to the intellect, that I alone and changeless exist in the form of consciousness and bliss. Sat, Chit, being, consciousness, and bliss. I am ever pure and free, without change of form and nature. I am ever full. I alone exist, changeless. I am eternal and without boundaries, immutable and unshakable. I alone exist, I changeless, in the form of consciousness and bliss. Effulgence am I, both inside and outside. Light am I, both inside and outside. The light which is apparent as well as transcendent. Light of all lights, self-effulgent. The light of the Atman, the light of the soul, filled with auspiciousness am I. This is this moment-to-moment bliss that I am, that you are. So let's chant along with Vanamali Mataji, the Asangoham. The wisdom of Adi Shankara, Adi the original Shankara, this great sage, is just without parallel. So this is one of his prayers expressing this incredible level of realization. He's considered the father of Advaita, the father of non-duality, this amazing revelation of the oneness of all life, the oneness of all creation, the divinity of this life which we are all the face of. So we continue to elevate our consciousness, to focus our passion on our inherent divinity, the oneness of all life, the oneness of all being, the oneness of all consciousness, the understanding that our salvation is not necessarily biographical or psychological, that it is psycho-spiritual, that this merging, this transpersonal, transcending this ignorant personal identity and making a leap in consciousness from believing you're this limited and vulnerable organism, making this leap of consciousness from believing that you are this mortal and vulnerable organism into the reality of the eternal life that you express, into the reality of this miraculous life that you are an expression of. So it's just a natural step of identification from this limited shell into the mystery that uses this body and uses this life as its vehicle. This week I've been reading an amazing book where this fella he set up a website and invited people who had near-death experiences to fill out 100+ question questionnaire about their experience of the other side. And he was both making generalizations about what happens after we leave the body, and providing this and articulating this tremendous body of evidence. There are tens of thousands of reports of the other side that go back to Plato, go back thousands of years, are articulated in the Yoga Vishishta about these other levels of consciousness. And what seems to be universal is that when people leave the body, they're first struck by the fact that they are not their bodies, that they're this consciousness that easily lifts up out of the body at this moment of death, goes through some metaphorical tunnel, and experiences this light, this consciousness, this being of incredible compassion and unconditional love and bliss, this incredible ecstatic life, so that when we leave the body we can look forward to a life of ecstasy and bliss until we're thrust into another body again to continue this journey back to our essential nature.
Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Ovarukamiva Bandhanam